With the First Lady's Foundation, which there's been a lot of talk about this situation, about monies that are deposited into the account. And the board members of the foundation are saying, we have no idea. We don't know how this happened. So we're trying to find out if somebody somewhere knows how these monies were transferred into this account. But the board, like I said, they're telling us that they're investigating. And once the investigations are complete, they would let us know. But one thing is familiar. The company that put in the money, we know that this is a company that is trying to have a contract here in the Gambia. We know that, and we know that the same company did something similar to this with another country before. So we would be looking at all of that to find out if this is something that somebody must have spoken to them about. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's the foundation, but this could be like someone outside of the foundation give the account details of the foundation, because we know it is not possible for anybody to send money into an account if the account details were not given to them. So somebody must have sent them the account details. That's why the money is put in there. But now that every member, I spoke to almost majority of the board members, and all that they're saying is, we do not know how this happened, but somebody somewhere knows something. And we're saying that we have started investigating this issue, and the little information that we have, we're going to share it with you. And if you are watching this and you know more, please let us know. One of the board members told me this morning that Fatu, this is the foundation, and we don't think that it should come under scrutiny. But what we are trying to tell them, if the foundation is open in the name of Gambians, Gambians deserve to know what is happening in there. Because we know that the objective of the foundation is to help children, help the hospitals, health, and also women, I guess. So if that is the case and money to that amount is put into that account, we feel that the Gambians should know, because foundations everywhere, we know what happened with them, from America to the UK to Africa. They all have the same issues where people will try to launder money through them or try to steal through foundations. So we're not saying that is what the Fatoumata Foundation is doing. We are not saying that, but there is a red flag, and that is, since this whole amount was put in there and still nobody can explain, that is an issue. So we're trying to find out why they did not return that money. I had that conversation with one of them when they said, oh, we just saw this money in there. And I said, well, when that money came, I mean, did you try to return it? Did you try to find out? But that was not done until all this uproar is here about this issue. So we are going to go into detail about what we know about this issue. We know that on December the 18th, 2017, a payment in the sum of $752,544 was made to an account at Guarantee Trust Bank Limited, GT Bank, belonging to Fatoumata Barrow Foundation by Tibia Company. Tibia, of course, is a Chinese manufacturer of power transformers and other electrical equipment, and a developer of transmission projects. We know that's what the company does. This company's name is very familiar in the Gambia, because we know that the Gambia is getting a loan to help with our transmission and distribution. So this is the company, the same company, Tibia, among the people who are trying to win this contract. We know that right now they are working with the government of the Gambia. Tibia is working with the government of the Gambia to have this contract. And we know that it is a priority project for the transmission and distribution project of the Gambia here in our electricity issues. So we've contacted the Ministry of Energy. We contacted them today, and we know for sure that the contract is not signed yet. But we know that Tibia is in it. And right now, they are a priority. They're given priority. Most likely, they will win the contract, but the contract is not signed yet. And it is still with the Ministry of Finance, who are, of course, I'm sure, doing the final touches and before it is signed. But what we can tell you, the contract is not signed right now. We tried to reach out to the Ministry of Energy, and officials told us that, yes, it is true. Tibia is here. They're trying to get this project for the transmission and distribution of electricity in the Gambia, but they did not sign the contract yet. So if Tibia is lobbying to win a contract in Gambia, and we see the same Tibia putting in $752,544 into an account by the Fatoumata Barrow Foundation, that is not an accident, because this is a company that is already trying to win a contract in the Gambia. So at least for Fumom, loolu rek comme li ñuy wax rek teyal na xel So we're trying to see if the government will come out and try to explain this. And when I spoke to some board members, I said, I understand your frustration, because they're like, okay, we don't know how this happened. We didn't put it there. We understand that. Maybe, I'm saying maybe. And everything I'm saying here, if you feel that, like I said, you have the right answers or you know what it is, contact us. If we are lying, I mean, we will say it here that we said this, but that is not what it is. But you need to come out and talk to us and let us know. But we know that sometimes what could happen is maybe the money was supposed to be paid to someone who is corrupt. Either the person is in the government or is one person in the foundation was trying to get, because this is bribery. They're trying to get a contract in the Gambia, and like I told you, the contract is sitting at the Ministry of Finance as we speak for TBA to do transmission and distribution for Gambia. That is from the Chinese loan that the Gambia has to improve on our transmission and distribution of electricity in the country. So now, somebody must have given these bank details to TBA. Is this person from government? Is the person from the foundation? But for the foundation executive members to tell us, oh, we don't know how the money got there, we just saw the money in there, I don't think that is an excuse, and that's not good enough. Because if TBA was nowhere to be found in the Gambia, and the Gambia has never been connected with anybody at TBA, then we would say, okay, then maybe, but how did this happen? We all know. People who do banking, you all know how hard it is. Even to transfer money from one account of yours to another account is always a problem. Much more this kind of amount, putting it into one account. So already we know that. What is clear is that TBEA, a Chinese manufacturer of power transformers and other electrical equipment and a developer of transmission projects, are the ones who put the money into Fatoumata Foundation. And we know that the same TBA is trying to win contracts in the Gambia for transmission and distribution. That is a fact, because we contacted officials at the Ministry of Energy and they told us it is true. TBA is priority, their project is a priority project. And right now we're looking into it and they could win the project. That one we know. So already that money could be bribery. So during our findings, we were told that at the time that the money came in, it was Fatim Baji, the former health and information minister during the Jammeh time. Fatim Baji was according to the people that we spoke to at the board, said Fatim was the CEO at that time. We actually tried to call Fatim Baji. We could not reach her. But one thing, we spoke to a source who is very, very credible. And the person told us that Fatim was never on the payroll of the Fatoumata Foundation, and that Fatim was actually volunteering. She was the one who helped put that office in place, like hired the staff and that kind of thing. But we are also told that when that money came in, it was Fatim who raised the flag. It was Fatim, because Fatim, they said, never had any access to the account. The treasurer is Aminata Ba. I think she is First Lady's cousin or sister or auntie. I don't know, but I know that they're related. So it was one of the financial officers who told Fatim about this at that time as somebody who was in charge volunteering to help them out. That person told her to say, oh, there's a transaction of $752,000 into the account. It was during that time that Fatim is said to have contacted the board and say, wait, we need to know what happened to this money. Where is this money coming from? Why is it on here? And we don't know. So all those questions were raised. So the foundation started looking into it. So looking into this issue did not even start now, according to the information that I gather, but it was not made public. It was when Fatim found out, and we understand that Fatim has resigned from the board. She is no longer with the Fatoumata Foundation, but we are told that she was the one who raised the alarm to say, what is this money for? When the person in the financial department raised it to her. So that bit too we know. And we know that according to the information, the money actually came in on December 18, 2017. And when that money came in through GT Bank UK, and then it came in through the GT Bank that is here on Keraba Avenue, my neighbors. And then once that happened, the same date, on the 18th of December, on the same date, the FAB Foundation instructed again GT Bank to transfer $746,000, 211 and 13 cents. That is $746,000, 211 and 13 cents was asked to be transferred to White Airways. White Airways is a Portuguese charter airline. When they were bringing the body of the late Assombi Bojang, White Airways was the one that was chartered. If you Google them, you will get to see a lot of information about them. So it was White Airways that actually brought the body of Assombi Bojang. So it is the same company that was paid $746,211.13. We know that President Barrow went to China. I think it was around somewhere, but it was not in 2017. It was this year. And we know that the money that was spent for the president's chartered flight was not from this money. I think that one, the state paid for it, but we are trying to trace it. And what we have seen so far, that money that the president used to hire a flight to go to China did not come from this money. But already, the Fatoumata Barrow Foundation has asked that $746,000 be transferred to Portugal. So now we try to find out what happened to this money. Here is what we think, that after this money was sent to Portugal, another issue was raised, and that was that they have canceled the charter flight. They are not going to take the charter flight again. So that means that the money was returned back to them. But when the $746,211.13 was returned to them, we do not know what happened to it, because it did not go back. We did not have any record showing that it was put back into the GT Bank account. So we don't know if another account was open, if that is where the money went, or if this money is back into the GT Bank account. We did not see that trend. It was not there. We didn't see it. But we know for a fact that the chartered flight never happened. So that means that the money is returned somewhere. Where is the money? That's what the people are asking for. We are not saying that the foundation should not make money, but imagine the board members themselves are telling us that they have no idea where this money came from. Remember, we were told that Fatim was the CEO at that time. When she was volunteering, she was the one who raised the alarm, and she has resigned from the board because until now, no information is out. The investigation, according to some members of the board that I spoke to, are very, very, very slow. They don't know what is going on. So this would bring us to this conclusion that we are thinking that this would be between the Fatoumata Barrow Foundation, which is not the board members, but Fatoumata's auntie or sister or cousin would know, because she's the treasurer. I don't know how the treasurer missed the amount that was put into the account, unless the somebody else found out, and that was the person who told Fatim. So already, Aminata must have known something. So if you're investigating and you still can't find a headway, I think we can help you here. Try to find out with Aminata Marimo, because she is the treasurer. She's a friend, but we're only doing our job, and we have no grudges against anybody. We're just doing what is expected of us as journalists. So they should be able to know. Another group that should be able to know, maybe find out from the office of the president, because this could be when this bribery was coming in, the government did not want any trace of it, and they decided to say, send it through the foundation. Could this be? I'm speculating here, but I'm saying that could be an issue. It could be maybe, the government don't want to see anything, and then they said, pass it on to the foundation. But all we know is that until now, it is not clear what the money was used for, but we know that $752,000 was sent to them through Tibia. We're waiting to find out what happened.